The only reason that we put this on the agenda is tonight is because we've been increasingly dealing with some of the issues with the coronavirus that the mayor has spoken about. And the governor's issued an executive order as of yesterday. And I have to say that we in Franklin and most of the municipalities are trying to now comprehend what it is exactly the authority that the governor has given to us or has not given to us. And in some respects, we're working through, public health emergency enactments that are based upon statutes that are literally a century old, and we're trying to understand what, exactly what powers the governor has now given us. There are a couple of things that we have been talking about because, once again, while everything that the mayor said is true, we're trying to deal with issues of continuity of government and how it is that we might operate in the event that, for instance, we have to close town hall for a week, or we have to cancel a council meeting 2 weeks from now, and how we're going to deal with that. I've spoken to some of the council people. The good news is, as opposed to when New Jersey passed this law and was dealing with the Spanish flu, is that we actually have the ability now to conduct meetings by telephone, to conduct Facebook Live meetings if we have to. None of the laws that govern our procedural parts of how we do our business really address how it is that we're supposed to deal in a new normal where, for instance, we can't have a public meeting, but we have to have an open public session under the Open Public Meetings Act. We have to adopt ordinances, but we don't have the ability to have a public hearing because we don't have public meetings because we're doing them on the telephone. So we're going to work through all of those issues. We're going to, to the extent that we can, we'll talk to DCA and get guidance. My opinion is that as a fallback, there's always the concept of what we call the doctrine of necessity, which is to the extent that we have to act to pay our bills, keep people employed, deal with our employees, deal with our police department. We'll continue to do those things to the extent that we get back to normal business and we have regular council meetings. We'll then ratify those actions. I'm fairly certain, based upon DCA has reacted to past incidents, Hurricane Sandy, Hurricane Irene, the 9/11, that they'll understand that we'll be able to deal with those things. The governor's executive order has given us leeway with regards to procurement to the extent that we need to buy things that are necessary for us to deal with whatever exigencies occur. So we'll continue to do that. And we also understand that we have to deal with, we're going to deal with the public and our vendors in ways that are trying to keep some continuity, because I think we all recognize that the government here deals with a lot of very small businesses who have to operate also. So we can't, while it might be great to not pay the bills for 2 months, it would have a catastrophic effect on the people who work. So we're dealing with all of those issues. We'll keep, to the extent that we can, we'll keep council apprised. I've sat in 5 or 6 meetings in 5 or 6 municipalities, and I told this to Bob today. Last time around Hurricane Sandy, or every time that there's a snowstorm, I sit in OEM meetings, and you're there with the public works people. This time I sat in all of these OEM meetings with the IT people. It's just a different, we're not talking about clearing the roads so people can get to work. We're talking about figuring out ways that people can stay where they are if they have to stay where they are and have to work. So it's a different kind of thing, and my guess is that we're going to learn a lot from this. And 3 or 4 months from now, we're going to be talking to people in Trenton about how it is that we can deal with these things and give authority to councils to function going forward. And I'm going to leave that up to Crystal Pruitt to get that done in Trenton.
Got you.
Managers report.